Thank you. So I wanted this to be a surprise, so I haven't rehearsed it. So, as some of you know, the last few months I've been supporting Extinction Rebellion, the local Extinction Rebellion group in Bristol, with some training. And, well, you probably know about Extinction Rebellion. It's all about stopping traffic and talking to angry motorists. And what I do is I support people to listen to the angry motorists. So that gives you an idea of what I'm doing. So I was at a meeting of the Regen Circle in North Bristol. So regen, for those who don't know, it means regeneration. So it's a bit like rest and recreation, or sort of trying to recover from all that sort of activist activity. Anyway, so a few weeks ago, we were at this Regen Circle, and they were asking, what kind of skills have you got? What kind of skills can you offer to Extinction Rebellion? And I said, well, I've always wanted to be a stand-up comic. They just laughed. The funny thing is, they're not laughing now. So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard doing stand-up comedy, particularly about the climate emergency. I mean, you're faced with impossible odds. Impossible odds. I mean, yeah. Last week, somebody accused me of recycling jokes. I'll try that one again. Last week, somebody accused me of recycling jokes. It's no laughing matter, I can tell you, anyway. And that puts me in a very delicate situation. Very delicate situation with such a serious topic. I mean, what's funny about ecological Armageddon, I ask you? I mean, you've got to go right back to childhood, go back to when, when you sort of laugh at ghosts and monsters and demons and that kind of thing. So let's just try something about this. Try something. So knock knock.
Who's there?
Armageddon.
Armageddon who?
Armageddon out of here. Of course, saving the planet is a lost cause, as you know. I mean, did you hear the one about the small group of people who saved the world?
No.
No, I didn't. And that is my point, ladies and gentlemen, that it takes about 3.4% of the population for any kind of mass social movement, for any kind of social change. So let's think in terms of 3.4% if we think about any numbers at all. So I find myself surrounded by climate warriors. Now, I don't see myself in that kind of way. I see myself more as a climate warrior. I'm more of the climate. Is anybody else in that climate warrior? No, yeah, okay. We'll talk afterwards. So, true story, ladies and gentlemen, and those who don't identify as such. This is not the first time that I've attempted to recycle jokes, it has to be said. In 1992, when recycling was first all the rage, I was living in Oxford, and I came up with the idea of raising money by recycling jokes. So I had a stall at the Green Fair on Headington Hill, park in Headington Hill, as only Katie knows. I had a stall, and we had the recycling station: glass, plastic, metal, and compost, and landfill, and jokes. And I was there with a table. I sat at the table, and I had the jokes in front of me, and people came and told me their jokes, and paid me 50p, which I gave to the Triratna Trust. And then I gave them a joke that somebody else had just told me, just handed to me. and in that way, I had a lot of fun, and we raised some money. We raised money for the Triratna Trust. So yeah, so it sounds very sensible. And then in 2002, when I was living in Cambridge, I created the first joke recycling machine in the world. And I made it out of this cardboard box, and it had a handle, and you turned the handle, and you put the joke in there, and then you took your joke, you got your joke out of there, and it was all very scientific. The only one that survives, I'm sorry to say, they were very poor jokes up here, but the only one that survives was, what do you call a fly with no wings?
don't know, what do you call a fly with no wings?
A walk. I'll try you one more. I'll just give you one more chance, okay? What's the difference between a fish?
And what?
I'm sorry, this was Cambridge. It's like what my friend Savannah Prabha said. You know, Savannah Prabha, you know, at some point before she died, she went to visit a garbage. So probably you might even remember this. She went to visit a garbage recycling facility in the Bay Area, and she came back. She wrote a report on Facebook, and she said, are you thinking of throwing something away? She said, and then she said, there is no away. That's profound. So have you found it difficult to introduce climate emergency into ordinary conversation? I mean, I've found this really difficult. I mean, you know, everyday conversations, you know, so usually what happens is somebody says, actually I ought to start cleaning these up. Somebody says, I'm going to pick up the kids from school, I'm taking the car, and you say, we're going to hell in a handcart, and you're going to use the car to pick up the kids from school. And they say, I'm going to pick up the kids from school and I'm taking the car. And that's normally where the conversation ends, I'm afraid. But actually, I have found a way, quite by accident, I found a way to address this problem. So, a friend of mine said to me, oh, where are you going on your holiday, Shantigarbha? Where are you and Gazina going for your next holiday? And I said, oh yeah, we're going to see the penguins in Antarctica, in the Antarctic. And they said, well, that's really cool, going to see the penguins. Wow, why not? I said, not as cool as it used to be.